Hello and welcome to Guitar Gear Gyan with me, Sahil Jagtiani. Before we go ahead with today's tech tip video, make sure you click that subscribe button and ring that bell to stay up to date with all our latest videos. After you've tuned up your guitar and you've checked that the nut is cut properly and there's no issues with it, the next step is to look at your neck relief. Now, the neck relief refers to how tight your truss rod is. If it's very tight, you're going to see a bit of an end bow on your guitar. The end bow is a convex shape resulting in buzzing strings. If you want to have lower action, then you don't want it too loose because that would cause your your neck to be more of a concave shape, a U-bow. That means the action will be really high. So how do you check whether your action is perfect or not? The first step is without tools. You take your first finger, you put it on the first fret, you put another finger on the 12th fret, and you see, is there enough space between the frets and the string, and even can you play it? And here you see it can make a bit of a sound. That means there is some relief. It's not an end bow, it could be a slight U-bow, but that's fine. As long as it's not too high up, that would indicate the action is very high, and if there is a sound coming like that, that means it's good to go. Now, to check the neck relief with a tool, you're going to need a short and a long scale guitar ruler, both for the 24.75 and 25.5 scale lengths. This is a 24.75 scale length guitar. So what you do is you take the short scale length side and you put it on the first fret like this, align it up. And if it rocks, that means you've got a bit of an end bow, and it doesn't rock. So this is either a U-bow or it's a straight neck. Now, the way to check whether it's a U-bow or not is you look at the space between the ruler and the fretboard, and I can see there's hardly anything over here. So it's pretty straight and it doesn't require much adjustment. In order to adjust the neck relief, you're going to need a truss rod adjuster, a hex wrench, an Allen wrench, an Allen key, whatever you want to call it. There are two types. There's a female type, which is here, which is used mainly on Taylor guitars and on Jackson guitars as well. You'll see these are the more common ones. They come in different sizes. For the Squire, it's more of a larger size. For acoustics also, it's more of a larger size. In the acoustic guitars, you'll find the access to the truss rod at the bottom sometimes, just above the sound hole, at the top of the sound hole. On most electric guitars, which are like lower end guitars, you'll find the truss rod adjustment access point right at the top over here. So how do you do it? Like on this Squire, just simply detune the D string. And why do I do this? Because I don't want the strings to get damaged while I am adjusting the truss rod. So you remove it from there. And this is still a little bit tight. Let's loosen that. Let's put that there. So now we've got access to the truss rod. We'll simply put the Allen wrench inside there. It's a snug fit. Now, the trick is if you have an end bow and you want to loosen it, okay? So remember this phrase, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. When you turn it to the right, that means to the guitar's right, not your right, like this, you're tightening the truss rod, okay? And if you turn it to the left, you're loosening the truss rod. Remember, you don't need to really, completely turn it to one side to get it moving. It moves, and even after you've moved it, it will continue to move, maybe even for like 10 hours or 12 hours if the guitar is really old, and sometimes maybe even 24 hours. So give it some space. I always give it 24 hours before I do the final setup on the guitar. Make sure that you're not too finicky about moving the truss rod here and there. Also keep in mind that sometimes if it's very tight, moving it too much might even break the truss rod. So be very gentle in your approach when adjusting the truss rod. So I hope you learned something from that video. Make sure you smash that like button, click the subscribe button and ring that bell to stay up to date with all our latest videos. If you want to support me in making such videos, become a patron today. My Patreon link is in the card above. Go there and support me right now. Follow me on social media. Follow SSJ Productions on social media. Our links are in the description below. And above all else, keep on rocking.